Hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Maryam. In today's video, I am going to be reviewing the new GloWish by Huda Beauty skin tint and also the bronzer as well as the brushes, basically the entire collection. So this is a new line for Huda Beauty within the Huda Beauty empire. This is supposed to be vegan, cruelty-free, it's supposed to be recyclable packaging, but do we need all that in our lives at this point? There are so many skin tints, there are so many options for 2021, as I always say. So in today's video, I just want to see what the fuss is all about, test these products, of course, conduct a wear test and give you guys my verdict at the end, as I do in all of my foundation review videos. So with that said, let's get into this video. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already. Hit that notification bell so you can see all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos. And now let's get into it. GloWish or GloWish? Kind of a weird name too, no? So let's get into some facts about these products. We have the GloWish Multi-Dew Skin Tint. This is supposed to be a fragrance-free formula, light coverage, radiant finish. There's 13 shades altogether. I have 3 shades here that of course I will test out. I have the 05, the 06, and the 07. Let's look at the ingredients. All right, so these are all water-based. C1519 alkane is the second ingredient. So amyl laurate is the third ingredient, glycerin is the fourth, mica is the fifth. Then we have propanediol, then we have squalane. All right. That doesn't sound too crazy or drastic to me. So basically the directions here say you could wear this alone for an all-over healthy glow, apply to the center of the face and blend outward. Add to your favorite foundation to boost luminosity. Love that. This is $37, so it's kind of pricey. All right. In this GloWish by Huda Beauty collection, we also have some Soft Radiance bronzing powders. Now this is $31. There's 5 shades. I have 3 shades here. Supposed to be blurring, buildable, blendable, velvet finish. Also supposed to be transfer proof. We shall test that, of course. And last but not least, we have 2 brushes. Cute. I love the fact that they come in a case. So we've got the Face Airbrush Finish brush. Oh, so cute. It says, I am not perfect, but I am reusable on the back of this package. Love that. All right, so this here is the Face Bronze and Blush brush. Let's get into swatching all of these skin tints. So I'm going to swatch the shades 5, 6, and 7. They're all set to be near neutral undertones, with some leading a little bit more warm. So I guess because it's light coverage, the undertone is supposed to blend in and fit most skin's undertones, given that it's neutral. All right, so I see this is made in Italy, which is great. And we have 1.35 fluid ounces in each of these squeezy tubes. Squeezy tube with a pump. Even at 1.35 fluid ounces, I feel like $37 is kind of pricey for a skin tint. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I definitely was hoping for a cheaper product. All right, so let's test out this shade. Wow, this looks really glowing on the back of my hand, and the fact that it kind of matches my hand is telling me that it's probably going to be a little too rich for my current pale complexion. But this is the lightest shade that I have, so probably gonna have to be the one that I'm working with. All right, so this is shade 5, medium. Definitely doesn't feel like it's light coverage to me. Looks like it's pretty good coverage. All right, let's test out shade number 6. Okay, is it me or shade 6 appearing to be a little bit lighter? Studio lights are definitely a little bit deceiving. All right, so what I'm seeing in the monitor is that this one is looking just a pinch more yellow, but they are very close. And then when I turn to the side, it shifts peach. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, let's test out shade 7, tan light. Okay, so tan light on my hand looks like it's like an in-between shade between the 5 and the 6 undertone wise, but just richer in terms of color. And on my pale AF face, it's looking very wrong on me. Definitely not my shade at the current moment. I think I'm gonna stick to shade 5 because I generally don't like to match my face with my foundation products. I like to match my neck instead. So let's see how shade 5 blends in with my neck. Still a little too rich. You can definitely see that. Or maybe the undertone is wrong. Maybe I need something a pinch more yellow. Go for shade 6 on my neck. Just a little too saturated. I don't know. A little too not quite there. But it's okay. It's okay. We are just testing shades and we're trying to see if this is in fact glowish or ish. Is it me or did they oxidize on my neck? And now they're not like as bright and as saturated as they were before. All right, that seems promising. I'm still gonna go for shade 5 and see how it works. But if I like these, I have a feeling the matches will be good for me once I have just a little bit more of a tan. And it is the summertime. And I don't know if I have mentioned this before on my YouTube channel, but I am someone who has the capability of getting extremely tan. I absolutely do not tan anymore. There's like a bunch of reasons for it, but my skin is like very sensitive to the sun in the sense that it does not burn. It tans very quickly, very, very dark, like so dark that people almost didn't believe me that I could tan that dark. Anyway, let's test out these shades. So what I'm gonna do, just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna apply primer to one side of the face. I'm gonna use this One Size Secure the Blur Makeup Magnet Primer. I don't know why I haven't reached for this one more. I do like it a lot. I don't like it as much as my Essence Tinted Primer, but this one's really good. I guess it's because I keep it in my filming room and not in my separate makeup room where I, usually do my makeup that's not for on camera. And so I haven't been reaching for it, but it is a really good one. So I'm gonna apply that to this side of the face. And you know what? I'm also going to apply it to the forehead. The reason why I'm applying primer to my face is because I am extremely oily and today is a really hot summer day. I am gonna go outside. I am gonna try to test this glowish skin tint in some elements, but I wanna be able to apply it the same way that I do all of my foundations with a primer underneath, but also designate one side of the face for just the skin tint without a primer. Let's go for it. So I guess I'm gonna attempt to use this brush. It is a very cool shape. I like that it's flat, but very, very wide. So let's go for it. Testing out shade 5, applying that to just one side of the face first, to the primer side. Okay. So upon application, this skin tint definitely has a balmy, draggy feel that I don't really like. Also, the bristles here are shedding just a little bit, so that's kind of annoying. And moreover, I definitely think the finish is a pinch too luminous for my liking, just off the bat. I am someone who suffers from enlarged pores in this area because I am acne prone and oily, and this type of luminosity doesn't seem to be correcting that or disguising that at all. In fact, I'm seeing in my monitor that there's quite a bit of enhanced texture here that I'm just not a fan of. The color also is not a good match for me. I think I either just need to be a little bit more tan or I need a lighter shade, but as it is right now, I don't know. I'm definitely seeing a hint of color, but it's definitely not enough coverage to be called a foundation. I can still see all my spots, all my imperfections. So this is definitely just like a veil. All right, let's test some out on my forehead. So my forehead, compared to the rest of my skin, is more flawless. I don't really have too many breakouts there. I don't have any pores or lines. It's pretty smooth. So let's see how that applies on my forehead. Bear in mind that I did add that primer underneath. Okay, I kind of like it a little bit more on my forehead. So that tells me that this will probably look good on near flawless skin. If you have bumps, if you have breakouts, if you have texture or pores, because of how luminous this product is, it will definitely enhance your texture, kind of like how it did right here. Let me show you a close-up. This is what we do on my channel, and we show you the texture galore. What is happening? This definitely doesn't look very pretty up close. It almost looks like my skin is inflamed, as opposed to here where I'm not wearing anything at all. This looks aggravated. You see what I'm talking about? I just don't think this is for me, sadly. Okay, let me not rule it out. Let me just, continue. Let me add some of this shade 5 to the side of the face. Do you see this like balmy, uneven sort of application? I don't know about this one. I'm a big fan of Huda Beauty products. I just don't think this one's for me. With something so luminous, I would probably get away with just like wearing it on the high points of my face, like as a highlighter, or maybe just on the perimeter of my forehead. But considering how oily I am and how texture enhancing this is, I just don't think I am someone who can get away with wearing this all over. It looks not great. And I'm not even talking about the shade. The shade is another story. I will make it work, of course. I'm just talking about the finish. The finish is not ideal for me. Tear. I wanted to like this one. Okay, so before I get into the bronzers, I'm going to perfect my face. I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna use my Fenty Beauty Bright Fix Eye Brightener. I'm gonna try to perfect the rest of my complexion, add my usual product. Better already. I'm actually gonna take a little bit more of that Fenty Bright Fix and just like brighten around my nose and kind of like mattify this whole area. That area that I just was not loving. Smooth that out a pinch, you know? And the Bright Fix is a very light product, so I don't think I'm really taking away from the integrity of the skin tint. I just wanna, you know, make it work for me. So like I said, I am gonna go out today. I'm gonna go to the park with my boo. I wanna look a little bit more presentable than I do right now. All right, we're gonna use my one size translucent setting powder for the under eye, and I'm thinking I'm also gonna add that to my porous zones just to smooth them out further. Okay, that really did help. Did you see that? Okay, that powder really just transformed my whole complexion. So I guess what I'm gonna do is set my whole face, because again, I'm not someone who can get away with not setting the face, but I'm gonna do it lightly using just the translucent one size powder. That way you could still see the glow seeping through, but it won't be as metallic as before. Okay, so now that I've powdered down, I like myself a bit more. Just definitely was not feeling the super luminous metallic Tin Man looking vibe of the skin tint. No. I'm actually gonna add just a pinch more powder, my Charlotte T Airbrush Flawless Finish. Just over here to this area, I'm feeling like it's looking just a pinch orange. So I just want to mute that a bit. All right, and now I'm ready to apply the bronzer. So from the bronzers, I have 3 shades. I have 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna swatch them, of course. Ooh, packaging is very interesting. Ooh, I see. So this is like a duotone swirl type of bronzer. Velvet finish, buildable, blendable, blurring. And also because it's a duotone, you could probably dip into the lighter shade to get one type of swipe, or you can swirl them or dip into the darker shade for a completely different type of swatch. You see that? Which I guess is cool, but bronzing brushes are generally not the size of a fingertip, so you're probably going to be swirling them. For the sake of the swatch, I'm gonna swirl, and this is the shade 2 medium. Nice. Feels very creamy, kind of similar to Huda's swirled shadows from her Naughty Nude palette and from a couple of other palettes. So here we have shade 3, tan light, pinch deeper, and the third one that I'm gonna swatch for you is shade 4, deep tan. There we go. In studio light with the big camera, and let me just show you a close-up. So here we have the 3 shades swatched. The medium is on the top, the tan light is in the middle, and the deep tan is on the bottom. In this close-up swatch, you can really see how luminous these powders are, which I didn't even notice with the naked eye, so I'm glad I did the swatch. So I'm gonna use the shade 3, tan light, and the bronze and blush brush. I'm just gonna lightly swirl. Wow, it definitely picks up a lot of color. Something is itching me right here. You're so annoying. Anyway, ooh, this is definitely a very unique formulation for a bronzer. It almost applies and glides on like a cream, but then it definitely has this beautiful blendability. I'm gonna dip a bit more. Okay, so far I am definitely liking the bronzer a bit more than the skin tint. I like this brush too. I like the fact that it has this very narrow edge that allows you to sculpt your features, but then it also has this beautiful width to be able to blend up and to feather out the product, which is really nice, which really does give you maximum control. You can bronze up or sculpt with just this one brush. All right, let's look at the ingredients. So it looks like this is mica based. It's the first ingredient. Then we have silicone. We have dimethicone as the 5th ingredient, which is another silicone. We've got some flower oils, some shea butter, some sunflower seed oil, some glycerin, some squalane. Let me add just a bit more to this side of the face, just like that. And now let me show you that close up. Much better now that I've powdered down, huh? Look at that. It's not looking as aggravated as before, although you can still see some red spots from my breakouts. You can still see some pores, but it's not as inflamed looking as it was before. This side of the face looks pretty decent as well. Again, there's not much coverage with the skin tint, but overall, I think it looks pretty decent. So what I'm gonna do now is maybe add some bronzer to this neck, because I don't know, I feel like my face is looking just a little too bronzed up, a little too red. I don't know, it's just needing a little bit more blend. What I'm definitely enjoying about this bronzer is the blendability. I do love that it applies like a cream, but blends out like a powder. It just feels very cushiony. And now that I've added that like subtle bit of color on my neck, I feel a little bit more put together. This is the face. Here is my first impression. Way too luminous for my very textured skin. Way too much for someone who has visible pores. I feel like it's not blurring. In fact, it's very texture enhancing upon first application without having any powders on top. But I was able to kind of save my complexion a little bit with the powder, but still, knowing that my texture was made to look worse isn't making me feel very good. Regardless of the fact that I was able to save it with powder, still makes me feel like underneath the powder, it's still rough, you know? I can't really say that this is something that I will eagerly reach for, knowing that fact, you know? Right now, with the powder and with the bronzer, my skin does look okay, but it can look so much better had I had the right base on, you know what I mean? I'm skeptical. I'm definitely very skeptical. I have to see how this will wear. I have to see how it'll feel throughout the day once my skin starts producing the oils in the next 30 minutes or so. And I'll definitely have to check in and give you like my final first impression thoughts and of course the wear test. I will say that off the bat, I am really liking the Soft Radiance bronzing powder. I feel like it's kind of unique, something I haven't really seen before. I love the fact that it's a swirl, so you can customize your color. You can make it lighter or darker depending on whether you want to bronze up or sculpt up. I like the undertones. Overall, I like the finish of the powder. I think it's pretty. I don't really see any of that luminosity that I saw on the swatches once I've applied it to my face. Definitely the star player of this collection is the bronzer for me thus far. I like the brushes, especially the bronzing brush I like a lot. The other brush I didn't really get, also was shedding a bit. So that is basically my first impression in a nutshell. Let's see how these products wear and let's see how I feel at the end of the day. So let's cue in that good old time warping music for that wear test. I'm nervous. Okay guys, we are back in the filming studio. It's been about 8 hours, maybe 8.5 hours, and this is what my skin is looking like at the end of the day, wearing the new GloWish by Huda Beauty skin tint and also the bronzer. So let's observe everything, starting with the forehead. There's definitely a lot of luminosity on my forehead. You can definitely see it shining. Perhaps not as oily as I expected it to be at the end of the day, but it's still a little too shiny and just a little too luminous for my liking. Now, on the nose, I think that's the part where the skin tint has really worn off. I don't even think I have anything left at this point because you could really see my bare skin and all my freckles. Now, on this side of the face, you can definitely see my pores are very much magnified. They are enlarged. They are not looking super flattering, but I will say overall it's worn pretty well. Better than I expected, that's for sure. Now let's take a look at this side of the face without any primer. I think this side of the face has worn pretty well also. I honestly can't really complain. Outside of the fact that, I gotta be honest, I wasn't really feeling the luminosity of this product when I first applied it on. It was just a little too shimmery, a little too metallic looking for my preference. Outside of that, I like the way that it's worn, but is it a product that I would reach for on the daily? Not with my skin type, unfortunately. No, because I am someone who has texture, because I'm someone who has pores. Although the ingredients in this are good, they're clean, I'm just not loving the finish. It's not my preference, and it's not something that I would find myself reaching for. Definitely not for an all over the face type of an application. Maybe, yes, I will use it on the high points of my cheekbones, or maybe on just like the perimeter of my face or my forehead, but not as an all over product. That's basically my story, and I'm sticking to it. I think this has worn pretty well, but I don't really think this is meant for someone with textured skin. It would probably look really great on someone who has really flawless skin. Even if you don't have flawless skin, if you have smooth skin, you will probably like this. I also gotta add that I'm actually not really like surprised at this outcome. I like most products from Huda Beauty. I usually find myself reaching for a lot of Huda Beauty products, but as I always mention in most of my videos, you can't love everything from a brand. And this to me was just not for me. And that is absolutely okay. Just because it's not for me doesn't mean that it can't work for some of you guys out there. So with that said, I am going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, this wear test. Thank you guys so much for requesting this one. This one was for you. So with that, I am zooming on out. Check out more videos right here. A video that you may like, and also my most recent video. Hit it!